Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1980 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Oakland A's and the Detroit Tigers at Tiger Stadium. On the mound for Oakland is Mike Norris, whose record is 7-10 with a 4.50 ERA. And pitching for Detroit today is Jim Bibby, whose record is 10-7 with a 3.69 ERA. And so we're on a 6-game winning streak right now with Jack Morris locking the A's down yesterday. He only gave up 3 hits. He had a couple walks in there, but was dominant all the way through. The only run was a manufactured run as Rickey Henderson stole his third and fourth base of the season and then scored on a ground ball to second base. So Rickey Henderson is the one A's player who has been tearing it up. And so I have Parrish back in at catcher today. Just as a quick aside, we are now 1 game back of Baltimore and 3 games back of the first place Yankees. So we have made up some ground. Today is the last game of the 3-game series, and then we'll have a day off, and then we go to Fenway. So let's go ahead and get started with today's game. As always, I appreciate everyone following along. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. And so here we are with Jim Bibby on the mound. All of our bullpen is available. I had Morris throw a complete game yesterday. So all the bullpen is available. None of them were even used. And looking at the lineup, Steve Kemp did show as being tired. So I took him out of the lineup and put Bob Baylor in left field. We got Parrish back in today after giving him the day off, and Fisk is back at DH. So let's pull up the stats here, and then as I do the lineup rundown, over here on the right side, you'll be able to see the 1980 Topps baseball card representing that player. So batting leadoff and playing right field for the A's is Larry Murray. Batting second and in left field is Derrick Bryant. Batting third and DHing is Dave Revering. Cleanup today and playing third base is Wayne Gross. And back at catcher today, batting fifth is Tim Hosley. And batting sixth and playing first base today is Tony Phillips. Batting seventh and in center field is Glen Burke. Batting eighth and at shortstop is Rob Picciolo. And finally batting ninth and at second base is Mike Edwards. And pitching for Detroit, as we've already mentioned, is Jim Bibby. He won his first start with Detroit as he was acquired at the All-Star break. He gave up 4 runs in 7 innings. He had 6 Ks and no walks. Overall, it was actually a decent performance. He got tagged for a couple runs at the bullpen left. He left and the bullpen allowed us to score. So we're not going to hold that against him. But we're going to go ahead and get the game started. Here's Larry Murray, batting 182 versus righties. He's going to get a base hit into the right center field gap, and he's going to leg it out for a triple. So Larry Murray's on third base, and we're going to play back, and we'll let that run score. As the ball's hit right to Hebner at third, and that run does score. He doesn't go home. He goes to first, and it's 1-0 Oakland. Just like that. And so that will bring up Dave Revering, who pops it up into foul ground on the first base side. And it's caught for the second out. So 2 down for Wayne Gross. And Gross walks. So now there's a runner at first. And here's Tim Hosley, who had the game off yesterday as Newman. Hello, Newman. He got a opportunity to catch yesterday. as Gross advances on a wild pitch by Bibby. So runner in scoring position for Hosley. And Hosley's going to line out to right field. Hancock has it for the third out. So now we head to the bottom of the first. And here's the lineup for the Detroit Tigers today. We have Sweet Lou. He's batting leadoff and playing second base. And at shortstop and batting second is Alan Trammell. Batting third and playing third base is Richie Hebner. Batting cleanup and catching today is Lance Parrish. Batting fifth and in right field is Gary Hancock. Batting sixth and DHing is Carlton Fisk. Batting seventh and playing first base is Jason Thompson. Batting eighth and making his second start in left field this season is Bob Baylor. And batting ninth and in center field is Omar Moreno. And here's Mike Norris. I have a lot to tell you about Mike Norris. This guy was amazing in 1980. In real life, he went 22-9 and finished second in the Cy Young voting behind Steve Stone, who you've seen a couple times this year already. Steve Stone went 25-7. Norris went 22-9. Stone had 37 starts. Norris had 33. Mike Norris had 24 complete games out of his 33 starts. So Billy Martin, who was the manager, he just wore out the starting pitchers. All five of them made at least 30 starts. Rick Langford, who was really the ace of the Athletics that year, he started 33 games and he had 28 complete games. Like 28 out of 33 is a good year for saves, let alone complete games and starts. And so ultimately, Mike Norris had a better WAR than Steve Stone. And of course, they didn't track that back then. It was all about wins, and that represented what Cy Young winner should be. And so Stone had 3 more wins than Norris. But in actuality, Norris was likely the better pitcher. He also won the Gold Glove that year and finished 15th in the MVP voting. And just as an aside to Steve Stone winning the Cy Young, his own teammate, Scott McGregor, had a higher WAR than he did. And McGregor's record was 18-10. So at any rate, that tells you a lot about this era. And Billy Martin as a manager. All 5 of the starters for Oakland had their best years, with the exception of Brian Kingman, who we saw in the first game. He went 8-20 that year. He lost 20 games, but it was still his best season as far as innings pitched. But no pitcher of the starting 5 had another complete season after that. They were all had arm troubles. And they were all pretty much done with their careers after a couple seasons. So we've went 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the first, and now we're in the top of the second as Tony Phillips grounds out to second base. And that's going to bring up Glen Burke. Glen Burke is probably most famous for being known as the first gay player to come out in baseball. And unfortunately, this was the era of AIDS, and he died from that at a very young age. And it was only afterwards that that information was made known. And so, in a sense, he was a pioneer. And so, in the bottom of the second, as Bibby set the A's down 1, 2, 3, we have Lance Parrish leading off the inning. He had the day off yesterday, and he's going to ground out to first. And that's 1 down. So Gary Hancock is up next, and he's going to hit a high fly ball down the left field line, curling foul, and it's going to be caught by the left fielder, Derrick Bryant. So 2 down for Carlton Fisk, who finally had a 2-hit game yesterday, and there we go, there's another base hit. So I think Fisk is finally breaking out of his slump. He's had a pretty decent week, maybe since the All-Star game technically. And there's a base hit for Jason Thompson, just past the first baseman, and now we have runners at first and second. And that will bring up Bob Baylor, who had 2 hits yesterday also, which doubled his total for the Tigers since his trade. And he flies out to center field, and that's the end of 2. So the Tigers head to the top of the third, and Mike Edwards will lead off against Bibby. And Bibby strikes out looking. That's the first out, and the first K for Bibby today. So with 1 down, Larry Murray grounds out to first. That's the second out. Murray had the A's only hit. And finally, Derrick Bryant strikes out, and we head to the bottom of the third. So leading off against Mike Norris is Omar Moreno. Moreno's batting .500 since he came over in the trade at the All-Star break. And it looks like another fly ball down the left field line that curls foul and is caught by Derrick Bryant. So 1 down. Here's Sweet Lou. And Lou hits a line drive to dead center field, but it's going to be caught by the center fielder, who is Glen Burke. And so with Burke being in the game, obviously Ricky Henderson has the day off, and we're glad about that because he's just been tearing us up. So the Tigers go down 1-2-3 again, and the score is 1-0. The only run being scored in the first by Larry Murray after his triple. Dave Revering leads off the top of the fourth, and he hits a pop fly to Trammell for the first out. So 1 down for Wayne Gross. Gross had a home run in the first game of the series, as the A's almost came back to win that game. And he grounds out here to Whitaker. So 2 down. Here's Tim Hosley. He goes down swinging. So that's 3 Ks for Jim Bibby today. And so we head to the bottom of the fourth. Richie Hebner will start us off. And he's got a blooper into center field, but it will be caught by Burke. So 1 down. Only 3 total hits between the 2 teams, as Parrish lines out to first base. Tony Phillips makes the catch. So with 2 down, we have Gary Hancock, and he's going to get a base hit up the middle, right over the bag. And we have a runner on first. That's our first hit since the first inning. So 2 down, and Fisk takes the third strike looking. So we head to the top of the fifth. Both pitchers are in excellent shape. Bibby has thrown 57 pitches as we start the fifth, and he strikes out Tony Phillips. That's 4 Ks for Bibby. And again, here's Glen Burke, who's playing center for Ricky Henderson. He strikes out looking. So now we're looking at 5 Ks for Bibby. He's shutting him down. And Rob, I think it's pronounced Picciolo, is the proper way to pronounce that. He strikes out. So Bibby strikes out the side. And we head to the bottom of the fifth with JT leading off. He has 1 of the 3 hits for the Tigers. And he's going to walk to start out the inning. We're going to take a Baylor, and we're going to have a sacrifice bunt with him, trying to get Thompson into scoring position. Baylor lays down the bunt to third, and Thompson is safe at second. So we have our first runner into scoring position since the first inning, with our best hitter up to the plate, Omar Moreno. And he pops it up on the infield on the third base side, and it's caught by the third baseman, Wayne Gross, for the second out. So it's going to be up to Sweet Lou. And he comes through with a base hit to right field. Will Thompson score? He does. And the game is tied at 1. We're going to have Whitaker try to steal second, get into scoring position. At the worst case scenario, Trammell will lead off the inning, and he is caught stealing. Darn it. Okay, so we head to the top of the sixth, and maybe a little overly aggressive, but Jim Bibby, who's got 6 Ks, is going to face Mike Edwards. Edwards grounds it to third, and Hebner throws him out for the first out. So 1 down, here's Larry Murray. And I mentioned in the first game that Larry Murray is Eddie Murray's older brother, as he grounds out to short. So 2 down. Here's Derrick Bryant. And Bryant almost gets the ball through the left side as Trammell snags it and throws him out. So another 1-2-3 inning for Bibby, who has completely shut down the A's as we head to the bottom of the 6th. And Trammell hits a fly ball to right field. And that is caught for the first out by Larry Murray. So 1 down, here's Hebner. Hebner walks. That looked like a strike 3. So we have runner at first. Here's Lance Parrish, whose power has just completely disappeared. He's only got 8 home runs, and we're past the halfway point of the season, well past it. And unfortunately, he grounds it back to first for a double play, and we head to the top of the 7th. So one of these pitchers is going to be a hard luck loser today, as Dave Revering leads off the top of the 7th. And he walks. It's the second walk by Bibby. So runner at first, here's Wayne Gross. Maybe the only decent hitter other than Ricky Henderson on the team. Gross is going to fly out to left center field. And that's 1 down. And, I didn't switch over to the in-game stats, so there we go. Not a lot to look at for the A's. Tim Hosley's 0 for 2, and one of the many strikeouts today. Hosley grounds it to second, and Whitaker turns 2. And there we are, bottom of the 7th, just like that. Gary Hancock's leading off. Mike Norris at 87 pitches, still looking pretty good. Hancock has one of the 4 Tigers hits, and he's going to hit a ball to dead center field. It gets past Burke, and Hancock coasts into third with a triple. So now we're just going to ask for a sac fly from Fisk. We don't need anything fancy. Oh, he gets hit right in the knee. And so now there's a runner that's possibly going to get doubled up. Thompson does have a penchant for hitting into double plays. So we're going to hit and run and try to stay out of it. Oh no, 0-2 count, and he does strike out swinging. Fisk steals second. So we're avoiding the double play. Runners at second and third with 1 down. And we're going to have Bob Baylor hit to the right side. Maybe that'll be good enough to get Hancock home. And it was a wild pitch. And so Thompson scores from third. We take the lead 2-1. Fisk is at third base now. And we're going to let Baylor swing away. And that's going to pay off with a base hit through the left side as Wayne Gross misses it. He was holding, I think he must have been holding Fisk on at third. So it's an RBI base hit for Baylor. And we're going to have him steal second, since he is leading the team in stolen bases. Keep the pressure on. And he's caught stealing. Oh, so we are 0 for 2 on stolen bases. So 2 down for Omar Moreno. And Moreno grounds weakly to second. And that's the third out. So we put a 2 spot on the board. Take the lead, 3-1. Jim Bibby in total control at 89 pitches. And Tony Phillips is leading off. And he hits a high fly ball to right field. And it's going to fall short of the warning track. Looked like it was going to be gone, as Hancock makes the catch for the first out. Here's a ball that's going to fall in, though, as Burke gets a line drive base hit to right field. That's his first hit of the day, and really only the second hit overall for the A's. So 1 down with Burke at first, and he steals second base to get into scoring position. So runner at second now. And whoa, that was a terrible walk, as it was right down at the batter's feet. And Jim Bibby is listed as tired at 99 pitches. We're going to let him try to get out Edwards, and then maybe we'll bring in a lefty for Murray. There we go. So he strikes out Edwards. That's his 7th strikeout. We're going to pull the outfield in. We're going to give Bibby a chance to close out the 8th. And that's a base hit to center. Burke should score, and he does. And now it's 3-2. Oh, man. Okay, so the right thing to do is to take out Bibby. And we're going to bring in Tobic to face Bryant. We just pushed Bibby as far as he could go. And I hate to see him lose this, as Bryant's only batting .205 versus righties. Here's Tobic's numbers. This is his 47th game, 4-1 with a 2.86 ERA. Opponents are batting .256 against him. All in all, he's been pretty decent. But for some reason, righties seem to make it trouble for him. There we go. He walks the only batter we needed him to get out. So we're going to bring in Capizzello, who's been lights out versus lefties. And Revering's had a modicum of success. He's batting .243, so this is not an easy out, as Capizzello gets Revering to ground to third. And we do get out of the inning. And so they're bringing in a mystery pitcher with Terry Enyart. I don't know this guy. Looks like he last pitched in 1974. A couple games for Montreal, and then he's just made it back to the majors. A long journey, as he last pitched 6 years ago. So here we are, bottom of the 8th, and Sweet Lou's going to lead off against this unknown. And Whitaker pops it up right over the bag, and it's caught by the shortstop for the first out. So 1 down for Tram. Tram's going to rip it past Gross at third, and he's held to a single. So runner at first, we're going to hit and run. We're going to get the runner in motion. We need an insurance run right now. And that's going to pay off as Hebner gets a base hit to left field. Trammell was going on the pitch, and so he's safe at third. And, man, I just want to stay out of the double play with Parrish. So just give us a sac fly. Oh, he walks. So bases are now loaded with only 1 out. And here's Gary Hancock, who only bats .133 versus lefties, but he has had a couple hits recently. Oh, and he's going to pop it straight up into foul ground, and it's caught by the catcher. So it's going to be up to Fisk, and the good news is Fisk does crush lefties. So he's got an opportunity here with the bases loaded. 2-1 count, and he hits it right back to Enyart, and they get out of the inning. So we head to the top of the 9th. We're going to bring in our defensive replacement for Hebner, which is Tommy Brookins. And I did not show George Capizzello's pitching stats, but yeah, 26 games now. A 1.80 ERA. Opponents are batting .223, and we're going to have him face Gross, and then we'll bring in the closer. So Gross is only batting .141 versus lefties. I feel good about this matchup. As he hits it into the left center field gap, it is caught by the left fielder, who's Bob Baylor today. And we're going to take out Cappy and bring in Senior Smoke. Here's his stats. 37 games, 3-2 record, 21 out of 25 saves, and he's given up runs in 3 of his last 5 appearances, and had a couple blown saves in there. So this will probably not go easy, as Tim Hosley will face Senior Smoke, and Hosley's going to get a base hit to left field, and there you go. Just like that, runner on first. 1 out. Here's Tony Phillips. He's a rookie. And Aurelio Lopez throws a wild pitch, and Hosley is into scoring position. So we're going to intentionally walk Tony Phillips to get to first, and maybe give us a double play opportunity as Glen Burke comes to the plate. One down, and the game's on the line as Burke hits a blooper into center field, and it is caught by Moreno. So two down for Rob Picciolo. I believe that's the proper way to say it. This is a light-hitting shortstop. We're going to bring the outfield in so nothing drops in front. And let's see what happens. He grounds it right to Brookins. Brookins probably stepped on the bag, and that's the end of the game as Lopez makes it interesting. Both Tigers win 3-2, and we have won 7 in a row. And we head into our day off looking pretty good. No major notes for transactions, and we're keeping pace, it looks like, with the Yankees and the Orioles. Let's pull up the box score and we'll get out of here. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. We're definitely on a roll right now as we head into Fenway. And each team had a triple, but that was pretty much it. Bibby gets his 11th win. He was excellent. Lopez gets his 22nd save. Mike Norris, sadly, is now 7-11. And the player of the game, well, I guess we have to give it to Bibby since there were no Tigers who really did anything outstanding. So back-to-back player of the games who are starting pitchers. That's the first time all season. And so that's it from Tiger Stadium. We will catch you tomorrow. Have a great night.